Hello everyone, I hope that you're well. Today I am starting a brand new sketchbook. You might have seen last week I just posted a sketchbook tour of the one I finished a couple weeks ago, and I was very excited to just get straight into a new one. My sketchbook is a very safe space for me and it's a place that I love working in, so I wanted to start a new one straight away. I will say starting a new sketchbook always feels a bit weird to me because by the time I finished the previous one, I'd sort of established some kind of routine and relationship with it, and it feels odd to let go of that and start another one. But I was definitely ready to leave the other one behind and start this new experience. I'm really excited to see what this sketchbook brings me. I just feel like I had been working on my previous sketchbook for so long. It had almost been a year and a half. And my art had evolved so much in that time, and it just felt right to take the next step. So I'm excited to see what this brings. Before you ask, this is same as my old sketchbook, an art creations sketchbook with 80 sheets of 140 GSM paper. I did consider switching to a different one that would hold gouache better and potentially other water mediums as well, but I really like the cream pages in this one and just the smoothness of the paper. I feel like it's a really nice paper to sketch on and just draw on in general, and I might just end up getting a separate sketchbook with watercolor paper if I feel like I need one, but that tends to be just pure white, and it's not something that I particularly like when it comes to just drawing with pencils. So I decided to stick to this one. Again, might get a separate one, maybe a smaller one potentially. I do have my eye on some different ones that I would really like, but that'll be something for another day. This time I wanted to start this sketchbook specifically with some drawing. I haven't really set a list of specific goals for it yet, and I don't know if I will, but drawing is definitely one of my main priorities for it now. I will say when it comes to setting goals, especially art-related goals, I tend to get really in my head about it. I feel like when you're starting a new sketchbook, it's a pretty good time to pause and reflect on your art and what direction you want your art to go in. But in these situations, I always end up really overthinking things, and I start looking at other people's art and thinking, oh, I want to make that, and in a not so healthy way, I would say. I'm not really sure how to describe it, but it's like I start confusing the art that I like seeing from other people with the art that I like making. And I need to remind myself that these people that I'm following, that is their reality that they're painting, and it's not mine. And I need to take a step back and not look at other people's art for a while, and then it kind of all goes back to normal. And I think that's something that stems from the fact that a lot of the artists I follow on social media make very emotional art that sort of really comes from a place of intense emotion, and I really enjoy looking at that kind of art. I find it really fascinating, but it's just not the kind of art that I like to make, and the kind of art I probably will ever make. Never say never, but I'm really not an emotional person, and this kind of intense feeling that I think these pieces are coming from is not something that I can draw inspiration from, because it just isn't really there for me. So that's kind of been interesting to kind of process through and I try to remind myself of. Or sometimes I see artists that I like that use different mediums from mine or make different color choices, and again the line just gets really blurred between what I make and like to make and what other people are making, and I kind of wish I was doing that, but in reality that just wouldn't be true to me and to my style and what I have to express. So all that to say, I basically haven't set proper goals for this sketchbook yet, and I don't know if I will. But the one thing that I know I want to practice is drawing. I really want to work on my drawing skills. I think I mentioned it in my sketchbook tour voiceover as well. So I did start this with a drawing page, just using some random pictures that I found in my phone gallery as references. I actually really like how this one turned out. I was trying to draw the way that I would eventually like to learn how to draw, so I have an idea and like a sort of end goal in mind that I want to work towards, but in terms of technique, I don't know how to do that, so I need to practice that. But obviously this is not quite as good as I would like it to be, or not in the style that I would like it to be at, in a sense, because as I said, it's something that I need to work on and practice, but I do really like it. I like the layout as well, and you'll see later that I tried a couple different things. I think this was a really fun spread to make. I was also kind of thinking about doing maybe some color related challenges as well, because I think maybe one in my previous sketchbook and I really found that fun, but I don't have much of a plan with that, and I'll probably just continue to try this sketchbook quite casual. We'll see what comes of it. I think I'm going to be working a lot in here during the holidays, just because I go back to my parents' house for the 2 weeks of holidays that I have, and I'm not going to bring all of my art supplies over. I do have a few oil paints there, but I don't really like them, and I'm probably just going to be spending time with family, so I don't know how much time I'll actually have to paint, even though I'm technically off uni, so maybe I will do some painting as well, but I just think that would be a good time to practice just actual drawing in my sketchbook as well, and we'll see what else comes from this. And other than that, plans for this month include a lot of filming and art making in general, because I think this is such a lovely time of year, but also it can be really difficult to be inspired to film, especially just because there's no light. And the little light that there is mostly when I'm in uni. So I'm really trying to work around that, but I just really, really enjoy this season, and I'm feeling very inspired to draw and to paint. And I thought for a bit about doing daily vlogs, because doing actual vlogmas, because it's something that I really enjoy watching from certain people, but realistically I'm just in uni too much of the time for it to be interesting for you to watch every day. So I've settled on 3 times a week uploads, or at least that's what I'm aiming for. I am going to be doing a mix of like this kind of sketching, drawing, painting video and my usual vlogs, kind of a mix as I've always done on my channel. If you have any requests of anything in particular that you like to see, I'd be happy to hear that. If you want to leave that in the comments, or DM me on Instagram or whatever. I am going to be trying daily reel vlogs, like mini vlogs on Instagram, obviously, because I just really like the idea of documenting the month like that. So hopefully you enjoy all of this extra content, and also part of the reason why I am doing this is that the past couple weeks I've just really focused a lot on uni things, because I want to get all of my notes sorted out for me to like print and start studying for exams in January, because I start my exams at the end of January to mid-February. I just want everything to be ready to go before the holidays, so I can just do nothing uni related during the holidays, or at least like very little. I don't have to worry about things so much, and therefore I've really just been trying to get ahead with things now, and I've barely done any art for the past couple weeks, just because I really wanted to get ahead with this. And I am really, really enjoying what I'm studying this year, and this was really lovely to do. So it wasn't like I was forcing myself to do uni things and not do art. It kind of came very natural to just put art to the side for a bit, but I was still really enjoying things. Just I would like for things to be a bit more balanced going forward and in general. So filming so much will also be a way of keeping myself accountable and keep drawing and painting more regularly, but also not let uni things completely slip. So hopefully I can kind of find that balance, and bring that into the new year. I think I would really like to do like an A3 or a bit of a bigger painting as well, which I haven't done in a while. I 100% need to have a photo shoot possibly this week and take some references for new paintings as well. So I'll probably do that first and then see what I want to paint from that. And also a friend and like sort of an artist friend of mine, she mostly works with watercolor and acrylics, and I love her watercolor work. I love all of her work, but the way that she uses watercolor in particular, I absolutely adore. And every time that she posts something on her Instagram, I just feel really, really inspired to pick watercolor up again. And I was talking to her about this the other day. She was just like, go for it, So I have made a little watercolor paper booklet that I have back home that I'm going to be working in this weekend, and I want to not force myself, but I want to try and complete it within the weekend. So I'm hoping that like the time pressure will make it low pressure in a way. That I didn't word that very well. Basically, I just don't want to get too in my head about it, and I just want to use it very freely and just sketch whatever with watercolor without having to worry about like spending a whole bunch of time on things or like making anything perfect. And so that's a little project that I'm excited to try out, because watercolor is the first medium that I ever really worked with a bit more seriously. Even before I got into acrylics, that was at the very, very beginning when I started getting into art. And I don't use it much anymore because I like paint, and I like thick paint, working with a more like material type of color, I suppose. It's just what I find that I like better and what I think I can express myself with better. But I also just find watercolor really, really fascinating. So I'm going to be doing some experiments with that this weekend, obviously filming that as well. Hopefully I could make something that I actually like. And if I don't, I'm still going to be showing it because I still think that it could be interesting. But yeah, that is kind of the plan this month. I'm just trying to, I think I'm in a very brainstorming type of phase, like trying to figure out what I want to do with this sketchbook and what I want to do with my art in general. Although I am trying not to think about that too much, like just overthink things, as I was saying earlier. But also, I think it's important to have goals and to have things that you're looking forward to in order to grow. So kind of trying to balance the two as well. And yeah, I'm really excited for the coming month. I just really like this cozy, cool weather. It just feels really nice to be like inside with a candle drawing in my sketchbook. It's my favorite time of year. So I hope that you enjoyed this sketching process. I really, really liked it. I hadn't done a proper, just kidding. I did a drawing page a couple weeks ago when I finished my sketchbook, but this is not something I've been doing regularly, and I want it to be something that I do regularly. So I hope that you enjoyed seeing this. You're going to be seeing some more of this because, as I said, want to do more of it. I will see you very, very soon with a new video. I wish you all a lovely week. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope that you have a lovely month. I hope you had a lovely start to your December. So see you soon. Bye.